Hello dear students. So in the previous class we were discussing about the ionic bond. So ionic bond is the electrostatic force of attraction. Electrostatic force of attraction between the two oppositely charged ions. Two oppositely charged ions. So an ionic bond is formed between an electropositive ion and electronegative ion. Okay. So here the electropositive element after losing the electron acquires positive charge, and the electronegative element after accepting the electrons acquires negative charge. So the two oppositely charged ions, the electrostatic force of attraction exists, so that results in the formation of an ionic bond. Okay, so let us see what are the conditions for the formation of an ionic bond. So the conditions for the formation of ionic bond. Okay, so here you can see, so we know that the ionic bond is formed between the two oppositely charged ions. One of the ion is electropositive. By losing an electron it becomes a positively charged ion, and another element is electronegative element. It accepts the electrons and becomes the anion. Okay, so the first condition for the formation of ionic bond is that one of the atom one of the atom should possess low ionization energy. So that means out of two atoms which combines to form the ionic bond, one of the atoms should possess low ionization energy. So that means low ionization energy means the atom should be an electropositive in nature. Okay, so one of the two combining atoms must possess low ionization energy. So that means the atom should able to lose one or more electrons easily to form the cation. Okay, hence the atom should be electropositive in nature. So another condition is that the other combining element must possess high ionization energy. So high ionization energy, and hence the element will be electronegative in nature. Okay, so that means according to these conditions, so it is clear that one atom should be electropositive and another atom should be electronegative. So the electropositive element will lose one or more electrons, and the electronegative element will accept one or more electrons. So this results in the formation of two oppositely charged ions. So hence an ionic bond will be formed between those two oppositely charged ions. So let us see the properties of this ionic bond. So let us discuss about the properties of the ionic bonds. Okay. So generally the ionic bonds possess high melting points. Okay. So the ionic compounds generally possess high melting and boiling points. Okay, so why means because the ionic bond is formed between the two oppositely charged ions. So that is an electrostatic force of attraction will be exist in the ionic bond. So because of the strong electrostatic force of attraction, okay, so the ionic bond will be strong. So therefore generally the ionic compounds will have high melting and boiling points. Okay, so these ionic compounds in solid state, they do not conduct electricity. Okay, so in solid state what happens, they will be in the molecular form, they will be in the molecule form. Okay, so therefore they do not conduct electricity in the solid state. So due to the absence of ions. Okay, so when they get dissolved in water, so the ionic compounds gets dissolved in water, ions are formed, so then they will conduct electricity. But in solid state the ionic compounds do not conduct electricity. Okay, because of the absence of the ions. So next, the ionic compounds are soluble in polar solvents. Okay, So like water, example water. So because the water has a high dielectric constant, okay, so therefore most of the ionic compounds are soluble in water. So next let us see the other property. So these ionic compounds are crystalline in nature. Okay, so due to the regular arrangement of the ions. Okay, so these ionic compounds will possess definite geometry. So they are crystalline nature. So because in an ionic compound, the ions will be arranged in a regular manner. So when the ions arrange in the regular manner, so they will give rise to the crystalline compounds or a perfect geometry to the substance. Okay, so next let us see the definition of the lattice energy. So lattice energy. So lattice means the lattice means the array the when the in an ionic crystal, when the ionic crystal is formed, so the ions the oppositely charged ions will form the geometry. Okay, so that is called as the lattice, the complex. So it is the lattice energy means that it is the amount of energy released when 1 mole of an ionic crystal is formed from its gaseous ions. Okay, so the amount of energy released when 1 mole of an ionic crystal is formed from its gaseous ions. So here you can see the example. So the formation of NaCl, 1 mole of NaCl, 1 mole of NaCl is formed from 1 mole of Na plus ions and 1 mole of Cl minus ions. Okay, 1 mole of Cl minus ions. So the amount of energy, that is the change in enthalpy or enthalpy change, delta H is equal to minus 758.7 kilojoules per mole. Okay, so when 1 mole of NaCl is formed, so 758.7 kilojoules of energy is released. So similarly, when 1 mole of KCl is formed from 1 mole of K plus ions and 1 mole of Cl minus ions, so minus 718 kilojoules of energy is released. So that means, so lattice energy is nothing but it is the amount of energy released when 1 mole of an ionic compound is formed from its ions. So that is called as the lattice energy. So next we shall see the calculation of lattice energy. Okay, so this is important for examination for 4 marks. So that is calculation of the lattice energy. Calculation of lattice energy. So this is given by the Born-Haber cycle. So the lattice energy of an ionic compound is calculated by using the Born-Haber cycle. Okay, Born-Haber cycle. So let us consider the example of the formation of NaCl. So let us consider the formation of sodium chloride. Formation of NaCl. Okay, so let us consider the formation of 1 mole of an NaCl from sodium and chlorine. So sodium, it's a metal, it is in the solid state. So when sodium combines with half a mole of chlorine, so chlorine is a gas, it will be in the gaseous form. To form NaCl, it is in the solid form. So the delta H of formation, so the enthalpy of formation for 1 mole of sodium chloride is 381.8 kilojoules per mole. Okay, so now this is how the overall reaction can be represented by like this. So first what happens? The sodium metal will undergo sublimation. So the sodium metal will undergo sublimation. So that is sodium metal, it is in the solid form, it undergoes sublimation. That means from solid state the sodium metal is directly converted into gaseous state. So that is called a sublimation. So therefore the enthalpy change during the sublimation, that is delta Hs, is, it is an endothermic process, that is 108.5 kilojoules per mole. Okay, so the first step is the sublimation of sodium. So the second step is that ionization. So the ionization of sodium. So this is sodium, ionization of the sodium. So the sodium, after the sublimation, the solid sodium metal is converted into gaseous. So this undergoes ionization. So that is Na plus gaseous form, it loses an electron. So the sodium in the gaseous state loses an electron to form Na plus ion. So the delta H of I, so that is enthalpy of ionization, is 495.2 kilojoules per mole. Okay, so in the third step what happens? So the chlorine molecule will undergo dissociation. So that is dissociation of chlorine. Okay, so that is in the overall reaction only half mole of chlorine is involved. So this undergoes dissociation to form ClG. So only half the enthalpy of dissociation. So the delta HD means enthalpy of dissociation is given by 121.5 kilojoules per mole. Okay. In the next step, in the number 4, step number 4, what happens? So the addition of electron. So the addition of electron to chlorine atom. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ second step ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, when sodium undergoes ionization it loses an electron. So now this electron will be added to this chlorine atom. Okay, so that is Cl in the gaseous form plus, so the electrons donated by the sodium atom, so this form Cl minus. Okay, so this is nothing but the enthalpy of electron affinity. So that means electron affinity means it is the amount of energy liberated when an electron is added to the outermost orbital of a neutral gaseous atom. Okay, so that is minus 348.3 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so next step number 5. So now the formation of NaCl, the last step. So the formation of NaCl from Na plus and Cl minus ions. Okay, so that is Na plus in the gaseous form plus Cl minus in the gaseous form to form NaCl solid. So the enthalpy of lattice energy, so that will be equal to U. Let us take it as U. Okay, so the overall reaction, we have sodium plus half Cl2 gas to form NaCl solid. So the enthalpy of formation, as you know, that is minus 381.8 kilojoules per mole. Okay, So now let us calculate the enthalpy of formation. Okay, so now according to the His law of heat summation, His law, His law of heat summation, His law of heat summation. Okay, so that is delta HF is equal to delta S plus half delta HD plus enthalpy of ionization plus electron affinity plus that is the lattice energy. So the lattice energy E is equal to delta HF minus, so the delta HS plus half delta HD plus ionization energy plus electron affinity plus the lattice energy. So the electron affinity, so here you won't get this one. So that is, let us substitute the values. Minus 381.8 minus 108.5 minus 495.2 minus 121.5 plus 348.3. So that is equal to minus 758.7 kilojoules per mole. So that is, this is the amount of heat liberated when 1 mole of sodium chloride is formed from its constituents ions. Okay. So let us write the Born-Haber cycle for the formation of sodium chloride. So that is sodium plus half Cl2 gas NaCl solid. So this sodium undergoes sublimation to form sodium, convert into sodium in the gaseous state. So next this gaseous sodium undergoes ionization, so that is delta Hi ionization to form Na plus molecule ion. So this chlorine undergoes dissociation, so that is enthalpy of dissociation to form Cl ion, chlorine atom. So this chlorine atom accepts an electron, so that is electron affinity, delta H of electron affinity, so to form Cl minus gaseous ions. So Na plus and Cl minus will form NaCl. Okay, so this is called as the Born-Haber cycle. Okay, so this is called as the Born-Haber cycle for the formation of sodium chloride.